The Fever break their 3-game losing streak and take down the Washington Mystics in tonight's game. Oh, and Aari McDonald, I would like to cordially welcome you to the Indiana Fever.
Let me say right off the bat, Aari McDonald is for real. When they signed her, I said, look, there could be something here, all right? The stats show she's got something. I don't give a rip if she is 5'6". She's young.
You heard them right? Now let the party begin. The arena air was thick with a palpable dread, a suffocating tension that clung to every seat, every banner, every hopeful heart. The Indiana Fever's nascent season, barely out of the gate, wasn't just struggling. It was openly bleeding, teetering precariously on the brink of a cataclysmic collapse. Fans who had once dared to dream of a new era now stared blankly at the court, their optimism curdling into a bitter, acrid despair. They were trapped in a cruel loop of back-to-back soul-crushing defeats, each one a fresh wound compounding the team's visible decline.
Dantes. Now, Indiana Fever, I don't know how we gonna do this. I don't know how y'all gonna pull it off, but McDonald has to find a way to make her way on this team permanently, man. She balled out. I loved what I saw from her. She handled the ball really well, man. Passed pretty good. Made a couple buckets and stuff. But her intensity, the energy, just that it factor of just going out there and acting like she wanted to win the game. Very, very good, man. I hope Fever some way, I don't know how y'all can keep her, but y'all gotta plot something.
Her name, now echoing through the league with a newfound reverence, is Aari McDonald, and her odyssey to the Indiana Fever was anything but the gilded path of a chosen star. She was an undrafted guard, a diamond overlooked, a raw talent deemed not quite ready for the brightest stage. Just days before her monumental arrival, she had been unceremoniously cut from another WNBA team, cast aside as if her contributions were insignificant. The league, in its infinite wisdom, it seemed, had already rendered its definitive judgment on her professional future. Yet the Fever, desperate for any flicker of hope, any hint of a spark that might rekindle their dying flame, took a chance. They extended a short-term make-or-break contract, a temporary lifeline, immediately thrusting her into the unforgiving, white-hot glare of the WNBA spotlight with barely a single, meaningful practice under her belt. It was an audacious gamble, a Hail Mary pass thrown in the dying seconds of their desperation. Skepticism, thick and suffocating, rippled through the fan base. How could one player plucked from the very fringes of the league possibly turn the tide for a franchise that looked not just wounded, but irrevocably broken? The mystery deepened, intertwining with whispers of a grave misjudgment. Why was such a tenacious, obviously impactful player overlooked, discarded, and could she, against every stacked odd, truly be the missing fiery piece for a team drowning in the icy depths of doubt and mounting losses? Her arrival felt less like a strategic acquisition and more like an act of fate, a last-ditch effort to defy the narrative of inevitable failure.
Very quick span of time. Aari McDonald right here. How about the steals in the first half?
Run. The Fever
Here we
now
go.
On an 11-2
there she goes, right there.
She's
going to drive it all the way home, makes the layup. I like this player, folks. I like this player. McDonald has some energy. Let me tell you. Here we go right here. How about this? This is going to be a dish to DeWanna Bonner. All right. Look at that, folks. For the nice little layup. Really, really productive.
Now, before you get excited about the next game, let me know, what do you think about Aari in the comments? And now, let's get back to our analysis. You should know that the stage was set for the clash against the Washington Mystics, a game that, in the unfolding drama, quickly morphed into Aari McDonald's electrifying, career-defining debut. From the very instant her sneakers squeaked on the hardwood, a profound, undeniable shift permeated the arena. This wasn't a gradual, subtle change. It was an immediate, explosive, and seismic event that reverberated through every player, every coach, every fan. Her defense wasn't just good, it was a relentless, suffocating force, a steel trap clamping down on every opposing possession. She single-handedly disrupted the Mystics' offensive rhythm, transforming what had, in previous games, been an open highway for opponents into an impassable, fortified fortress. She was everywhere, a defensive dynamo, a whirlwind of motion, her movements a blur of pure, unadulterated will. She snatched steals with an almost predatory instinct, forced turnovers with cunning precision, and ignited fast breaks with an unyielding energy that bordered on sheer ferocity. It was as if an emergency switch, long forgotten, had been violently flipped, jolting the entire team awake. The Fever, which moments before had looked utterly listless, adrift, and defeated, suddenly possessed a defensive posture that was not just formidable, but terrifyingly effective. This wasn't merely the introduction of a new player, it was the unleashing of a force of nature, a living, breathing testament to relentless hustle, visibly redefining the Fever's identity in the crucible of real-time competition. Each blocked shot, each contested pass, screamed a defiant challenge to every previous shortcoming, announcing to the entire league that something fundamentally, shockingly, had changed.
What have these past 48, 72 hours been like to go from not with the team to playing almost 30 minutes tonight?
It's been crazy, but I mean, I'm confident in the work I've put in, the preparation these past couple of weeks. I mean, I know what I can do. And just the team made me feel comfortable, and they know what I can do as well. So, just taking that and just applying it to the court, it made me feel better. Just no pressure at all tonight. Just going out there and playing my game.
Aari McDonald didn't just help the Fever win a game. She jump-started their identity.
Amidst McDonald's stunning, transformative performance, the league's most recognizable name, the transcendent superstar Caitlin Clark, found herself in an uncharacteristically unfamiliar position. While McDonald was meticulously orchestrating a defensive masterpiece, an undeniable narrative of raw, unadulterated grit, Clark was navigating a game riddled with her own struggles, particularly with ball security and costly, unforced turnovers. It was an almost ironic, certainly surprising dynamic. The designated superstar, the heralded face of the franchise, forced to watch from a challenging perspective as an unheralded rookie, an undrafted underdog, inexplicably became the undisputed engine, the unexpected heartbeat driving the team's improbable comeback. But in this unsettling, unexpected role, a subtle yet profound lesson began to emerge. This particular game, more than any other, seemed to gently yet firmly nudge Clark towards a more selfless, team-oriented approach, highlighting the undeniable, stark truth that the team's ultimate success, their long-term survival, would require more than just her singular, brilliant focal point. The weight of carrying an entire franchise, once her sole burden, was now subtly, miraculously being shared. Could this unlikely, almost cinematic pairing, the offensive phenom with the legendary range and the defensive juggernaut with a relentless, gritty fire, be the true, hidden key to unlocking Clark's ultimate, boundless potential, not just as a generational scorer, but as a transformative, inspiring leader? The answer, etched in the burgeoning synergy between them, seemed to solidify with every passing minute. A quiet promise of a future where collective strength eclipsed individual burden.
Aari McDonald is over here having every other WNBA team scratching their heads trying to figure out why they wouldn't pick her up, why she was cut in the first place, because she has been in Indiana for just a couple of days, has had one practice, one shoot-around, and came in the first quarter, had huge minutes for the Fever. Great ball facilitation offensively, had some massive defensive plays, couple of steals, drew a couple offensive fouls, just had some amazing gameplay.
The majestic Aari McDonald brought an element far more profound than mere defensive prowess. She injected an intangible, yet utterly contagious spark that coursed through the team like a jolt of pure lightning, visibly revitalizing a locker room that had been drowning in despair. Her infectious passion, her unyielding desire, and her relentless hustle were a dose of pure adrenaline, a defibrillator shocking life back into a team that had looked utterly lost and resigned to its fate. You could feel the ripple effect, a palpable energy shift that coursed through every player. Suddenly, bodies were diving for loose balls with reckless abandon. Communication buzzed on the court with newfound intensity, and every shot, every pass was contested with a ferocity previously unseen. It was as if her sheer, indomitable will had ignited a forgotten fire, an ember of intensity long dormant within every single player. The question lingered, an exasperating, baffling whisper among every WNBA analyst and every fan. Why? How was this incredible, transformative talent initially cut? Her immediate, undeniable success on one of the league's most scrutinized, most talked about teams served as a stinging indictment, a moment of profound regret for other franchises who had once deemed her surplus. Every spectacular play, every defensive stop McDonald made seemed to scream a silent accusation across the league, cementing a narrative of missed opportunity. The Fever were no longer just a loose collection of individuals hoping for a miracle. They were, before the world's very eyes, transforming into a genuinely cohesive fighting unit. Their new identity forged in the fierce, unyielding crucible of McDonald's defiant, game-changing debut. They were finding their fight, their spirit, their very soul. Behind the scenes, the Fever's coaching staff had been enduring an unrelenting, agonizing period of intense scrutiny. Their previous decisions, marked by a frustrating series of chaotic rotations, baffling timeouts, and questionable strategic choices, had left the fanbase not just disappointed, but openly exasperated. Their frustration bubbling over into desperate pleas for radical change, even cries of "Fire Turner" echoing across social media.
Straight to it. Aari McDonald. Yo, I'm just gonna straight up talk about her right now. No turnovers. All right? No turnovers. Oh my goodness. In a one-day turnaround. Do you know how tough that is, fam? I know I was talking about this in the live stream, but I have to talk about it again right here. No turnovers in a one-day turnaround. Most of the time, when a player gets traded or, gets on a new team, they're not playing the first game. They're sitting out a few games so they can learn the system. No, fam. She had one day to learn. And coming here, I'm thinking maybe you should get a, turnover, 2, 3 turnovers, maybe. No turnovers, fam. No turnovers. Give us 3 steals, 5 assists. Had the most assists in the game. Yo, playing tremendous defense out here. Pushing the floor, making great decisions. Oh my goodness. I mean, she plays so good. You have people saying, "Fire Turner, hire McDonald." What a game, man. I have to give her the utmost respect. So much love for her, man. Yo, what a game, dog.
But little do you know, guys, that McDonald's undeniable, seismic impact on the court forced an immediate and dramatic reevaluation. A stark moment of truth that couldn't be ignored. Her performance wasn't just impressive, it was a glaring mirror, reflecting the desperate, urgent need for a more intentional, more coherent approach to player utilization and overall team strategy. Suddenly, substitutions weren't haphazard guesses, random rolls of the dice. They were timely, purposeful, injecting fresh energy and tactical precision at critical moments. The defense, once a phantom presence, a non-existent entity, now showed undeniable signs of life, a ghostly presence better than nothing, a tangible, suffocating force. The digital chorus of "Fire Turner" that had been a constant, nagging drone across every social media platform began to soften, replaced by a cautious, tentative optimism, a faint glimmer of belief. It wasn't an overnight magical transformation, but McDonald's electrifying presence had, with undeniable force, sparked a moment of clarity, a vital realization that the coaching staff finally had a strategic, undeniable piece, a puzzle-solving element, capable of unlocking the team's long-dormant hidden potential. A glimmer of intentional, strategic play, long absent, began to emerge from the recent chaos, suggesting, perhaps, a brighter, more promising future for the embattled team, a lifeline thrown to a drowning staff.
McDonald. I liked her in college. I like her heart. I like what she brings to the table. I like her in the competitiveness that she brings on the basketball court. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I like what she showed out there. I know they signed her to I don't think it's a full. I don't think she's going to be with the team for the full year. I don't know what the contract is, but I like what I saw from Aari McDonald. I think that she can be. I'll be honest with you. I saw more from her.
Particularly in the first half, into the third quarter, the ball movement was very good from the Indiana Fever tonight. The fourth quarter, it kind of fell apart. It did. It got way too tight. This game should not have gotten that tight. Right here, Dantas is going to get some love. Kelsey's with the ball. Right here, Aari McDonald driving.
McDonald driving inside.
Go over to Lexi, back over to
Dantas.
Dantas.
Dantas
Boom.
lines up.
What did I tell you? Ball movement. 4 people just touched the ball in a very.
Now, dare to envision the true, raw power of their synergy. Caitlin Clark, finally unleashed, her unparalleled offensive brilliance soaring to new heights, teaming up with Aari McDonald, her dynamic, gritty, and fiercely defensive counterpoint. It's a vision that isn't just promising, it's a living, breathing, utterly terrifying nightmare for opposing teams. Clark's unparalleled offensive firepower, her impossibly deep range, her uncanny ability to hit threes from the logo, her surgical, pinpoint passing, and her fearless drives to the rim forces defenses to collapse on her like a gravitational pull. But in doing so, she inherently creates vital, sprawling space, open lanes for McDonald to slash through with her gritty, fearless playmaking, or to kick out to wide-open shooters left unguarded in the chaos. Conversely, McDonald's aggressive penetration, her relentless drives to the basket, and her suffocating defensive pressure immediately draw frantic double teams, leaving Clark precisely where she thrives, free to orchestrate the offense with surgical precision, to thread impossible passes, or to knock down a game-changing shot that silences the crowd. Their contrasting styles don't just complement each other, they intertwine, creating an unpredictable, devastating offensive explosion that bewilders and dismantles the most disciplined defenses. This isn't merely the addition of another talented player. This is the forging of an unstoppable dual threat, a true pick-your-poison dilemma, elevating the Fever from hopeful contenders to legitimate, formidable WNBA powerhouses, poised to dominate the league for seasons to come.
All eyes tonight were on Aari McDonald because the Indiana Fever backcourt has been a-struggling since Caitlin Clark has been sidelined. And Aari McDonald did not disappoint. I'm telling you, she had one day to practice with this team, and she walked out there, she came out off the bench, she got 7 points, she got 5 assists, she got 3 steals, count them 3 steals, and this two-way player was impressive.
And Aari McDonald, let me just come out and say it, 5 assists, 3 steals. I had somebody tell me she's going to be a defensive liability. Looked pretty good tonight. Threw in 7 points, 7 big points.
Yet, my friend, the path to enduring greatness in any league is rarely a smooth, unobstructed highway. Formidable, daunting hurdles undoubtedly lie ahead, a gauntlet designed to test their mettle. Opposing coaches will now devote countless hours to dissecting game film, meticulously scheming to neutralize this potent, newly formed duo. Expect relentless defensive adjustments, suffocating double teams that track their every move, and an intensified, almost obsessive focus on shutting down both Clark and McDonald. This tactical shift places immense pressure on the Fever's supporting cast, who must now step up with unprecedented consistency, seizing the opportunities created by their stars. Every open shot, no matter how small, must be taken with confidence. Every defensive rotation, no matter how minor, must be executed flawlessly. Furthermore, the demanding, unforgiving nature of the WNBA season brings the constant, lurking threat of injuries and debilitating player fatigue, underscoring the critical importance of careful minute management, strategic rest, and the development of reliable depth. And for McDonald, the cloud of her short-term contract, a temporary reprieve, still looms large, casting uncertainty over the long-term certainty of her pivotal role with the team. Will the Fever commit to her, or will she once again be overlooked? Overcoming these multifaceted, daunting challenges will not just be a test of their talent, but the true measure of the Fever's resilience, their collective will, and their unwavering aspirations for enduring greatness.
Yeah. Can I hear you?
That's a good win for the Indiana Fever, baby. Hell of a win today. Y'all scared me at the end. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all scared me in that fourth quarter. Oh my God. I don't know what was going on, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. The Indiana Fever have finally won a game without Caitlin.
Like, she just put in energy. There is an energy that you can see things from players, and you can see an effort level that people hadn't put in. You could see as soon as she started, as soon as she comes on the floor, everything changes with this team. Everything changes. Their intensity changed. Every little thing changed with this team. And I have to give so much credit to her.
The Indiana Fever is no longer simply Caitlin Clark's team. This dramatic, almost cinematic, and utterly unexpected transformation marks a seismic, profound shift in their very identity. A rebirth forged not just by a singular generational superstar, but by a balanced, astonishingly versatile, and utterly unpredictable unit. They have evolved, seemingly overnight, from a team desperately struggling to find its footing, teetering on the precipice of despair, to one that now commands undeniable respect, a force that radiates collective grit, unwavering adaptability, and a chemistry that feels almost mystical, a bond forged in the heat of battle. This isn't merely about the exhilaration of winning a single, pivotal game. It's about a radical redefinition of what the franchise can truly be. A bold statement of intent, setting a new, higher standard for teamwork, relentless effort, and strategic brilliance in the competitive landscape of the WNBA. The journey, fraught with potential pitfalls and unseen triumphs, has just begun, and with Aari McDonald now an undeniable, pivotal piece of their burgeoning future. The most captivating, most shocking, and most defining chapters of this evolving story, chapters filled with more surprises, more triumphs, and perhaps even more controversial turns, undoubtedly lie ahead, waiting to unfold for a captivated league and a newly energized fan base.